I have a wild guest. He's more than a wounded lion like me. A great youth activist. Also a political victim. I didn't do the same thing that me. I am enjoying my political suspension.
He is smart.
Yeah, and I try to say DPO said me say I am enjoying my political suspension. So what I say? I am just enjoying it. But we will never shut up. We'll keep talking. My friend, my brother, my nana, my Ofasi as well. His name is Oketechie Afrifa Mensa. Jadem. Akwaba.
Yeah.
Na bibi ebo kode.
And then you find out also.
Ya duma me ho yedo.
But was a jadem with jadem.
Oh, hene
But also come here late. Anna anope me catchere o say e dey a won bedum light wa.
O kan you.
In fact my friend kan say e dey a won bedum light. Ampaniam pa you start here na foi. We generator is so but me catchere obi a wo hwe say amre say no amount of water can quench the fire.
I tell you.
Anna, Victor Hugo, a France poet once said that there is no army in the world strong enough to stop an idea whose time has come. No matter the tactics, no matter the army, the strength of the army, you cannot stop an idea when it is birth already. Now, when maybe me say signboard to be able, it's now cause traffic akra.
Signboard ebu.
Me ko hwe ya throw signboard no so Ghana beyond 8 nams ya ja ebebu are say ebebu. Ebebu are say ebebu because wa bre signboard na si wa what is an another conference no si chirema me say. Obi mu ngomba bi. Yes Ghana beyond 8. So dey me no ka say your president and me no mienu campaign man no. We gina France dey o kana Macron anim 170 euros. I mean, this is sickness. Yeah, young can say the here. And what would the two platform be so real men? Say, platform no go for so could you badge my badge you mechiao? Kwame Sefa mo ministers and go for so. Now, what the two so say me no banana bako a comment say national security be on alert. And then you arrest this. Me catch Ghana for say. National security to be arrested will be a Yabeka will be a Benjamin dear Pepe, Yabeche, and will be a Yana members of parliament, Benyomo dear, presidency, Benyomo dear, I am for Benyomo dear, but national security to mean to be a. It was all mine is a Bienina, a pet. Medical Academia, me person me reading the preamble of the Constitution. Actually, or say we the people of Ghana, in exercise of our natural and inalienable right, give to ourselves a framework of government. Into Wangasa the people of Togo, Wangasa the people of Nigeria, also the people of Ghana. And Oba Wangasa say be a Fonko and Asante Fonko. Wangasa Chim Fonko and Asabi and another go Fonko. We, all of us. Into our mind will be our shares the same.
Exactly.
It's in the Yabeki Agune. And Yabeki Agune. Papa, but on a frame.
Tell me better fine here.
And then the announcement.
I'm trying just to cool down small, but being cool down. Because I brand will no cool down. That may be cool down. Baby, I'm a quack way, you may be on Biano and Nabeko. Well, I want to ask you, no particular Ghana. Sir,
before, sir, now what can be about leadership in Africa and its problems? You see, Africa does not have leadership.
Oh, Debbie,
you need leadership.
Debbie.
We have a bunch of people who believe that it is their birthright to be in control and take over from the white man as the new colonizers. We don't have leadership. And I'll give you an example. You see, there is one article, one Peter Eke, or see colonialism and the two publics of Africa. We will go into that. But before that, Opa Afwenika Kai Africa Oko Nairobi, Kenya. President who believes that papa ne mrebi waje fa country the birthright. Right. Oba Lume Togo. Akwa owo no susu ne papa na je eyefa eti everywhere including Ghana. Certain people. Now let me read a portion of the Peter Eke colonialism and the two publics in Africa. Also one. Most educated Africans are citizens of two publics in the same society. On the other hand, they belong to the civic public. You can't civic public, we are talking about politics and its accoutrement. Or say civic public, which they gain materially and which they only grudgingly give. It's omo politics materially they benefit from there, but they are so immoral. And for that matter, they don't give anything to the people back. Now, also, on the other hand, they belong to the primordial public from which they derive very little or no material benefit, but to which they are expected to give generously and to give materially. Etu omoko achem, omoko asante, omanpenida da kufuana or powerful in politics and powerful in chieftaincy. Ofa na na do dan kwa kufuadwa or powerful in politics and powerful in chieftaincy. Ewa achem. Ofa gabiasare ochredakwa or powerful in politics, powerful in chieftaincy. Now Africa is the only continent in the world that you were two publics. Before the invasion of the white man from 1472, now you were a system of governance.
That's right.
And a white man best slapping on top of ours, making ours come beneath. So there was governor general, there was governor, to the chieftaincy, which was the last form of rulership. Meanwhile, chieftaincy no the representation of the people. Now let me quote what he said. When it comes to ideologies, over here and they intentionally do that. They want to distort history so the people will know that their fathers and their great-grandfathers were the people who actually gave us independence, and for that matter, it is their birthright to rule. So Peter Eke said, ideological distortions and abuse of truth usually indicate a degree of insecurity on the part of group that promotes such ideologies. Now, of course, I will say, now we have a colonial ideology of legitimation, whereas we have another legitimation, which is anti-colonial ideology, the African bourgeois ideology of legitimation. Eti legitimation, abrofuni susu se omo Africa yomodia, and they are so parasitic. Say whether they are here in presence, in person, or they are not, they will never leave us. And unfortunately, Africa is suffering from a disease called autoimmune disease. A doctor for the bachelor say you can't autoimmune disease. On say ni panu hunem diana kwado, okay? You will be a friend of a blood cells. I say a fight against yaria ebem. There is a type of disease when diana kwan the red blood cells and the white blood cells, they tend to fight the organs of the body. Africa is suffering from autoimmune disease. And Kaoko or Membia continent Biana, the educated elite in the country and on the continent, you know, and common serving as the white blood cells, the red blood cells, fighting against diseases coming from outside. But in that case, one more educated elite in fighting in the interest of the people have turned around to attack the organs of the people. They have turned around to attack the organs of the people, and I refer to these people as the white black cells. They are white black cells because they look black in skin, but very white in thinking. So instead of protecting us, they tend to fight against the organs of this continent. Already, I say one. Mami ready a African bourgeoisie's legitimation ideology. And Crophobi believe is as or papa no mo nana no mo ye great or mo family ye different from ye free bomfachi say any Santiago na buy no. Say we must worship them. Now I say African high standards. African bourgeois. You can African bourgeois now omo ko school e wa London omo ko tra number 10 Downing Street omo ko US no omo car de keke ka ho omo kan brofo be tra TV so keka omo 96 so shishan socks na ya wo su ya nine. They believe that they own the continent after the white man was gone. And that is where the problem is. Now I say the African bourgeois, Western educated Africans try to show that they are as good as their former colonizers. Etubera, the system Nana Kwesi Bruni Dibu Mino, Okoye, there is no overhaul. The same system you use. There is no total overhaul of the system. The same police force, a good barracks, and the modern day practices in UK, in US, in Germany. And it's a police lives with the people. You cross the same way, Tama McLean, set up the police system in 1844. No, and that was the same thing we do. Was it the African bourgeois, Western educated Africans try to show that they are as good as their former colonizers? They try to prove that they are equals but never betters of their former rulers. African bourgeois is very uncomfortable with the idea of being different from their former colonizers, and in matters regarding education, administration, and technology. One suspects that he is unconsciously afraid that he may not be qualified to be an effective replacer of the former colonizers. What it simply means is that no one that's no one that's hospital no one that's pay the best of education because they believe that they are more or less white but only black in skin. Now I say independence strategies. The fight for independence was a struggle for power between the two bourgeois classes involved in the colonization of Africa. It was not about issue of difference of ideas. It was money or more masters, and there is no difference in ideas. On the 6th of March 1957, when Kwame Nkrumah was declaring independence, and we've not been able to popularize that phrase. I say, we need to change our attitudes, our minds. He knew why he said that. Because Onimsi enjoy freedom it comes at a price. We cannot continue to have the mentality of a white man and think we can do what is right in this continent. So amukwa Macron, and yeah, because they want to go to Macron or father. It is simply because they feel they are part of Macron and his family.
Stupidity.
Yes. So Owieno was say promise of independence, but the kind want to what is it was not about issue of difference in ideas regarding moral principles, but rather the issue of which bourgeois class should rule Africans. African bourgeois had no basis of legitimacy, independency of capitalism. As we stand now, there is no leadership in Africa.
There's no leadership.
There is no leadership. And yes, the 54 bunch of old men will rise up and say, small boy Macron afraid. Say yamra. Now you finding ways and means of what? Finance and solving the problems
of Africa.
I mean how? I don't get it. Father, I don't get it. You see, we sit on a continent. It has everything in this world.
Oh, everything.
Everything in this world. How can you have 54 votes at a United General Assembly? Okay? 54 votes, United General Assembly. Continent, ayache mumwa 54 bunch of old men's club. Etikamuko do UN Assembly. Their mobile can be and move vote 54. More power. How can you have a 17% of the world's population? And largely about 60% of this population is the working force, the youth. How can you have a half of the world's gold supply and still Macron is for Sebra. Now what we say African penny for I say na yesu summit ye frɛ a Russian president say wamra ne ne summit da. Dabi. What we say African penny for atna say aka say ye frɛ a America dey even say Joe Biden. Sebra ne no summit da. I don't get it. Mentiasie.
Why Africa Summit of France?
Africa Summit ne ko mu chusu ba bi on be no in France. Meanwhile, you sit on a 90% of the world's platinum supply. 90%. You sit on 9.6% of the global oil output. You sit on a 2/3 of the world's manganese. You sit on 35% of the world's uranium. You sit on 33% of the diamond supply of Africa. You sit a 75% of the world coltan, and 54 votes are United Assembly. If you still sit down and you cannot find a way to solve your own problems, then you people are sick.
Africa is rich and not poor.
They are sick. So we don't have leadership.
There's no leadership.
There is no leadership. A bunch of old men who think say omo papa no G freedom no occupy positions. Instead say omo be solving the problems of Africa with homemade tailored solutions. It is not like that. And then IMF will say, and the World Bank will say, IMF won't can ya would only agony.
There be ya drain what I before.
Ekwamu de wo manfo. Ekwamu de wo manfo. Wo si IMF for say employ o mutimi employ o mo. Enti na ya kasa o kasa. Omo say we only talk, we don't profess solutions. And ya ba boa profess solution.
Na solutions ben na one person.
No, and ya ba boa profess solution.
You see, I have said it and I want to repeat. We a leader, somebody like Honorable Yao Osafo Mafo. You've been a finance minister before.
Right.
You've been an education and sports minister before.
Right.
What time on your board we didn't say, I say, the whole Africa, no, even the world, the crowd, per se, say, we are #1 finance minister that time. That time, no, na Juma ni ho. And then we are senior economic advisor to the president. Still a Juma ni ho. Ube catch the Ghana for you and say, public sector, no, I choke.
Right.
There's no way to open it up. But yeah, kasana yentimi fa solution ba no. Wa we senior advisor to the president no. Solution ben na wodi aba. Public sector dey mo choked no. Wo baba ya no course net.
Unya baby de share.
Yeah, unya baby de share. Look, senior. Share Africa ankasa yete we here. I was having a chat with a friend Nigerian journalist.
Right.
When him said 1980s abrofo ye wadwen say won be tackle Nigeria. Any Ghana no.
Right.
Na yem penny for tonyum omo sa. E de ma tutu kwan e to talk ma guess. And then ma de da rough. It is share African leaders are. No mo from 1980 na e di besi be 2400 ba no. Obi awo won yirechi.
If say go for gene no mo there.
Obi ni oba foforo wo won yirechi. Check the records. Owo bebre. Time na broni ne te odwen no. Na ye nkrofo no so dwena wo ho edie kwaladie saa eno kwa ne ade na wo dwene ho abrofo trans di na ohun say no, we need to tackle Nigeria. And then we tackle Nigeria with we catch Nigeria say devalue your currency.
Right.
Eti Nigeria forte hwa na yasman kwada totofe wa na o maba from Harvard, from Oxford. Devalue your currency. Devalue your currency. Devalue your currency. And omo tra ho na Nigeria devalue omo currency ni saa. It do 1984. Na Nigeria companies akasia na wo wa na wotimi e manufacture niema within Nigeria. Na Nigeria for tono. Kateche na factories ni na gu. Then Nigeria started importing from Europe and America. When we are not tackle Ghana, say Ghana, the only thing we can do is to change the taste of Ghana. When I read that document, me say taste. I said people are thinking. Say Ghana, the idea says here and say yama womunjai some bedua diane. E wo krom. Ne yama mbetwa diane free baby.
Right.
So they took our mankani. They took our account. Womo fa ye kwegwemi. Womo fa ye mpampa. E fa ye koko. Womo ye ombre bibi e friend Syria. Ghana fa kwatra America na omba no maso Syria aba.
And Syria. We will do homegrown policies to solve our own problems. We are crazy people.
Till today, because there's no leadership on the surface of this planet, you know, say this continent, say yes, school feeding program, Ghana, meanwhile, courage kwashiga. Time on Mampeni that Rollins. Sisa ye sika $21 million. Ma buy a friend Miss Cotton. Or this can acquire quarter golden bed da so. Ewo Chicago na Autoton na Bambara so edging and this
because of the hardship of aftermath of COVID-19. 18 and Crawford buofu. Ana me catch them Crawford say nipa no wo mo buofu no enye COVID-19 hardship.
Debi.
Enye fuel na matum no.
Debi.
Nemo omo buofu as a result of say wo mo twa wo money a ye ne China na hyase. And so China ko 20 years ago near the Dubai ma wana nka ompe. And so na Dubai ko. And so that's market time.
And also COVID ni bi ko.
It is leadership no amodiama from 92. Yes, and no pride here from 1992. This is the longest serving democracy, but it is not sustainable. And something is brewing. If the leaders can see that the youth are getting angry, I am sure that they will sit up. And you better profess a solution to our roads. You better profess a solution to our Greek. You better profess a solution. And you see, these are homegrown policies to solve our problems. We don't need IMF. You don't need World Bank. These international bodies were intentionally created to control Africa.
But you come to think of it. Say IMF bets my baby papa bi ama Africa. I didn't in America, Bobby sent free IMF, no Bobby sent free China.
Good.
You see, sometimes I look at Yem Penny for no, me show on Dina Miraho, and now the few minutes be a minyaye. Na me share the so-called African summit now we of France no. Senior. Me ra hwa ma na me ye me ho hwe enye. Na me commit no ti me fa achimot overhead so. Wo saa drainage na je ekufo ye no. Alajo ho no. Ebu agum asai to an extent say me bisa me ho senti ye ni nyansani bia wo kroyim. Ebu agum be 5 years ago.
Yetimi tena wa.
Ye ni nyansani bia
ade na sani ate won.
Ye nyansani bia.
Oh come so you.
Look, attach here be ye Minister of Works and Housing. Eka kire me say wo kodwiri nima anana do fie esi ho. Kodwiri nima
na ya no village you.
Ni ya no village you. Ye go see America for dan tenten. That's nonsense.
But it is doable.
But ori ya no nim de esi ye. Ye born to jaka kra no train to science. Oh, there be just anana me pa kire. Because na ye na no fafa. And no other kakeke.
Need anything.
Now, this 54 bunch of old men who are actually begging to think. Brains now your leaders no was say no. I'm sorry with all apologies. 50% a woo.
But you see, unfortunate.
And you see, look, I was looking at Buhari talking.
How can Buhari be the leader for the most strongest African nation in the world?
I was
How
looking at Buhari. Yeah, look,
at his age, he's leading us to where? Grave or where?
When Buhari was talking about nationalization in Nigeria and Ghana, said you, that's background. I want to say, industrialization in Ghana and Nigeria need a lot of boost. We have tried everything and we need more money to do. Ordinary Then he got to Africa's Aquakraba on Suchi.
The Aquatetem.
Oh, Massa.
The Obaya or Mount Crofo wu here for nothing.
Buhari another voice in Manukura answer. And you see, they have forgotten, sir. A mebunu ebufuo. A mebunu ebufuo. Woman be your friend Rubina, Messens, or Pennsylvania University, or one of their old lecturers. She's now 98 years. Or throw baby kitty to Twitter. And as it stands, over 700,000 comments. And a war assembly say. Or say one thing she has ever regretted doing under the sun is allowing one of her great sons to visit Africa.
Send it India.
Okay. Or say when the son visited Africa, he was better off. When he returned, his brain had been corrupted. Because he did not mingle with the right-thinking youth. He mingled with the African politician. The son did not mingle with the right-thinking youth.
He mingled with the African politician.
Mingled with the African politician. What the woman was trying to say is that the African politician have refused to think.
Captain, you see, medical can say more be a man in your say a talk between yang and Yemiano. It is a fight between us and a system. So system and benefit oh dear, you see yen changing in any case. How can we continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results? So there must be a total overhaul of the system.
Garbage in,
the way I'm na yet meet na wo maimu ema a Ministry of Sanitation. Ed wo mine sika eko tot a dustbins ba na watchro ho donated by mini. How can you donate to the people with their own taxes and money? But the governance in the people has made it look like us for a favor by serving us. You are not doing the people any favor. You are serving the people because the people have given you your most sovereign will, and they have added taxes on top of it.
Ministry of Sanitation.
To think. How can you write it donated by Ministry of Sanitation? Donating to
the people of Ghana.
I mean, how? It doesn't happen anywhere. And the solutions by Yabeko Agric. And you see, the problem of Africa is the continent that has all the leaders. a Muslim be visit other countries here kwa kope emwa ediaba enso mo e wo mo na ho 1.2 billion population of which about 420 million of them are young and ready to work enso mo nya adwuma bi nye ye create adwuma na e de ahye politician botom uko bomfa chia se ye ho de onye popular enti mo mu tu no mu se wo ye adwuma ye create nyuma nso ahye politicians botom enti uko aburochire ni politician na wo pa adwuma ye se okon ho enkola ni wie school year in year out for the past 10 years ye de more than 100,000 youth graduates wo mu free esua po mu
there be 275,000 a year
and year in year out ye kasa national service omo kotrena office ni asomo mo koto buro ni nkatia saa for 1 year. Meanwhile, developing the brain of your people and conscientizing them to think like Africans and find solutions to our problem. Your security service na hoye
Debio,
can they train these people?
Debio,
the customs, the immigration, the police. Can they train these people?
When NDC is
and when you train these people, Captain, what happens is that now say open recruitment into our agencies. You don't need any politician to bring you anything. Wamu we school ni they can train you omo. At the time I train you omo already no. Now you picking out omo be good. Omo nye good ebe mo be fie after 6 months or 1 year no kura no. Ye kira omo how to gather intelligence and be able to feed the national intelligence unit. Eti da bia obi ya de obabia enam se nipa na nya intelligence training kakra no obetimi dictate se akwa ya waba betena importamu hai watena ha mahunu se opeso odi bone ne wa feed the national grade of intelligence unit ye de da bi ye de agisi ya tenase ya ne be for police fo a ya fresh ha politician minister wo bra bajisika wo for two bra wo for because ye pese what kind of people are we? What kind of system is this? What kind of system is this? In any case, yes, you're a developing nation. And a developing nation, captains here, West Ufia, you may less. As compared to about 3, 4, 5 years, and now we shall see a wusi.
Exactly.
Numbers in for her, plumbers for her, carpenters for her, Obia her. It is Obi Sinifia, a Juma or home more chance was if in a week. It is a developed world, any developing nation. Baby, I send Kajuma or more, and my youth in development. Unfortunately, the same system of education akwasi broni jama na enchire ye apart from ye tebrofo no, that is what we are continuing. In any case, some person who educate you man for now, you should be focusing on employable skills. And then yet me da o makwabana need to me convert all the polytechnics chire eyensa no into university. What kind of absurdity? Highest level of absurdity. Employable skills, say carpentry, masonry. That is what we use to build a nation.
A developing nation.
A developing nation. And so yes, Kofi Niyama is going to school. Why is going to school?
Jesus,
what kind of system is this? Yes, Max Weber say. You call game pay there be a lecturers and say one quoted the Max Weber can ye and quoted the Woodrow Wilson can ye. Max Weber who 1871 make ye or can ye maybe can is an day. And so one quote here, ye be catch us wabon. What kind of sick nation is this? One man for ni here carpentry, they here masonry, ye here a developing nation for Juma. Said ye be betimi develop your minor a plan ye. But the leaders of this country is very far from the people, so they cannot profess homegrown policies to solve our problems.
Exactly.
Me who ye kasabi se bi develop your maya. Baby our central business point to war. E wana ka de civil societies ekogu. Civil servant ne ekogu. Etiki Accra, business point of this nation ye central Accra meboa.
That's right.
And sase e ben ho ye rich cantonment. Ene de eke ka ho meboa. Etinka one in ye see high-rise buildings. Emma civil servant netina trem no mo sori anopo mo ho ye ha etimi akwadwuma. Enso nsase ho nyina mo to ama mo ne mabusuafo etitimu ho. Na mo si da ama civil servant na mo de ko seglemi. Eti civil servant ne be sori afi seglemi a oba no onika obetina totro mu aba bedru 2 to 3 hours.
Na boy 11.
Obedru na boy 11 wa bre. Wo biene wache mu obedi wache na wo wie ya wa ya adwuma 2 hours. Na wa sori abesena kofie because wa nkonche mo beto traffic. What kind of nation is this? Certain people have captured the nation and they don't want anybody to talk because the system benefits them. Oko ka wo mo say na obi anka so person ye president
Obi
anka so person lead your mind bia. We are telling you to change the system of governance. Now COVID-19 aba. We are there the come beba. E come na de beba no. You don't need to import food. You don't need IMF. You don't need France to tell you what to do. 66% of the world arable land say be banche ni body ni dua yesai. Ada de yenwene. Why can't we think? A Greek problem says how person solve ya akanana do ohia so okọ France baby a asase yantam ne obom fa chiase asase yantam ne wo Santiago na yen hyase no for state farms na Kwame Nkrumah de bai yen go back to state farms. Yet me tna amadasani ka kire ye se wo ba besi kaya ye hostel e wo circle. Wo besi kaya ye hostel de are. Mu ko UK ko US kaya ye wo ho. Muko US no. You want to legitimize illegality because you want votes. Meanwhile, the entire Maranti ni maba we free tumu, every Laura, every Ermo. Eba yene is as a result of say jumani ho. Enyan kran na ye omo fe. Enyan pom frama no mo be peti. It's so be creating nyuma. Yesi ye one district one factory. Ye mfani nyina ansa me pinso nkran. Ye de ko bom fa chiase. Ye de ko tumu jakeche. Ye de ko Laura, ye de ko Ermo. Ye de ko sandema. Said you to moving free once maybe. And so yeah, because of populism approach it. Yes, I will be in a company one cranny a coach. Yes, one district, one factory. One, if you want to solve the problem, we need to go back into state farms. We need to invest in animal rearing. But why you in Prekoni, why you in Ponchina, Quano, so beton your watching. Me were for Kabakota. Captain. Some me my yen Prekwe. Anka, what is my business wanting to worry my head with selling of them preku? And so nation ni plan bia ma obia ya de ope. And one see a bia ye port ano and enkrofo e kra nioma e ye preku force. First me no ka say e ma timi kwa as far as wadru e kopem preku aba beton. And then ye bia ye port am no ma politician bi e make sure say ono dey say bin preku force every China ba. Etimani nkobio ombekwa akoto eye de ehye fridge because eno kwa ye cheaper than the live one. Etikamini wa yensha CNC abattoir is not about slogans. One district, one factory. One this, one that. We are talking about real policies. Ubesi abattoirs in all the regions. Said ye beya will be a year of 4 year na or yem preko ni ponchi we are all hand and hose obakoton and tinka state no ye be corner farm ho near kwakoto near bania baba solota near frizibi ya tombi live o pepreko ato ni kwa so kokodo me market o kwa abato ho abenya live one. That is how we build a nation. Ya de bo achibini ye betena sia ma de wa yem preko no wa ye frustrated no ajai and me no ka say me leasing me preko farm no for 10 years because I cannot even get anything out of it. We are making sure say yenzoni or mino a ban farming we shouldn't do banche body pay second year farming. We need to zone the country. And they are nyansafo akwa chenkrofo. And nyansafo se nkrofo ye galamse. Ya kwa the only solution that comes to their head buga solution or necessary solution and it's in charge to excavate them. Excavator na wadwene. Excavator on one and to ko afumu. Excavator on one ko si isuo ni mu say no. That's a ne say no with excavator no. It is how person punish obi a. Enye excavator na woje ye. Eyesen ka adwene ba utirim say ye fa mie the river banks nim. Okwa America George Washington Bridge the nsuo kakraka so nye nsuo na netwa ne kwan yo. Nipa de seni na dwene ye ana ohun se ye mie nsuo ni mu kakra etinki ye de nsuo no ye de kosiwa ne ye de excavators na nkrofo ndi ase no ye de tim so de be ya next time nsuo ni betimi aye bebre wom na ye we are the banks of the river no ye zone dia ye farming proper farming
and they share excavator.
Yes, excavator because we be adwene ne say yes excavator and that is the solution. Na ye te o man mu ma say bi o ye timi da sore ye say empire e wo 37 eti asoja fo timi ko gina na kekekeke ye shoot empire. What kind of sick nation, what kind of leadership at every level is this? What kind of people are this?
Ye shoot empire.
What thing sure nim utim 50 feet wide 50 feet down ensure better more. Ye yasi abeye populism approach say one village one dam. One village which dam. Ensure no ho de that timuma nkrofo no na ye lay proper irrigation system to the farms. One village which dam. After ye zone we Yama zero tax system to certain areas. Oko tumuja keche ohia wo ho. Oko ermo ohia wo ho. But we must be able to say ye be man krofo akọ bia adwuma ama krofo aye. Ene ye ka say, we must say bu person set company ye ko school bomfa chi ase. Yes, one of the factors I will consider nearness to a raw material. No. Ni aka kiro se eye ruo sensu ruo si ye ya na na do fie nanim ho ye nya nka so kota akura mani ba ye in 1 year ya ka so be 3 enso kwan ya kwokrabo kota wo mu hu chepens da kro ni di kota so ye hu chepens da
hu kota da
wo hu kota da enso ni di kota e won so na banche about 30% of banche a free eye eastern region e bank na nyina free ba opa kwotwo bas na bu so mo krabo kota banche wo ha ye de wotwo ba e won kran about 30% every krabo kota obekọ na mai anti moda no mo maka wo motu banche egu kwa ho na wo munya ka ama ne nkofa me na me hisu tundu ade kwafu unim eduru ba bi a me duru oto ase a na yesa me pack fa moto tundrawo entimi nkọ enti wan de ne ka ba kofa ne na ba banche ne timi gu wa na apro. What kind of sick nation is this? Enti ewia government have to create room for more PPP, proper PPP. And yet the editors no public private partnership. Yama incentives. Obi opesu obi adwuma otumu jakache no. Yama ni zero tax. No nko bi adwuma no employ nkrofo ho. As compared to obi oten kran. Obi adwuma no kran tax system should be higher than that of tumu jakache. And no be ma kwan ma nkrofo akotumu jakache. Akobia adwuma ma mranche ne mamba wa no. Omo maha.
So
rural urban migration can be solved with this. It is because it's only juma or it is state farms na ye be creating ye be make sure say some ranche ne maba wa we. Yam promise almost every month be even 1,000 Ghana. Name out of 1,000 Ghana no. You bet 200 for a senate. You bet to say for this. It will be any 500 a show butum. Name man no pebia ka ba be farm the mark of farms. A boy we are 12 or mapon ba beda. Who bet me any other ejumaka home and the youth will not come and do kaya in Accra. You don't need IMF to do this. You don't need World Bank to do this. But unfortunately, World Bank in kind, IMF in kind, it's in here to work. Here we are, yes, well supervision of the fertilizer distribution. And I know 2 4 6 to eka wo masem krono ya bonu aba mu nyina mo ya wa baby efri ba muni momo omo de fertilizer dwane fa boda nyina you know them etiya shase monitor sa akrofo ne mpane se wo na fertilizers ne nkankran na nka ha me fa adwuma. These are homegrown policies. You don't need the IMF. And she about na high sloganiere na planting for food and just na one village there and there. Hey, madam no akambo mamo. I don't know this sir. I don't know this sir. We are talking about see be making available modern farm implements. Asone second on aye ye. Etem eye nkurasesem aye ye. And ayetimi atena ha for over 50 years of her. China ya do koko ado me papa asankragwa me papa e wase kropon no koko enso ye ntimi antena se and developing machine ya edibo koko ya ntimi and developing machine ya edibo koko. China ba yeso obeye koko na no ya we developing machine ya edibo koko nefe etiyema eye implementation availability of modern day technology and implementation yen chance yen leo the youth to go into farming again. These are not things you need IMF to tell you. These are not things you need any World Bank or any France to tell you.
I was even asking, sir, Yama District Assembly be only farm just for a beginning. Mama Yandani Humra. I told you